Will you welcome Walter Becker and Donald Fagen, who are Steely Dan? Okay. How do you like that? Since you fellows never face your public, this proves people are listening. Say hello so we know you're here.
That's a hell of a round of applause for just guys sitting here.
Well, this is quite a tour. I guess this is the most you'll feel of it. And, well, the roadies, the hotels, and everything. Gee, it's all taken care of right here in one little ball.
You got a hell of a band.
I know. Hey, how do you guys buck the system that way? Walter, I mean, I don't understand.
We fired all the roadies, and we just said we couldn't go. How can we go? We can't
you have no roadies.
These things.
No organization.
There's no organization.
No,
They've been trying. The Holiday Inns weren't booked.
Right.
You know, the proper things in the rider weren't. There weren't 2 cases of wild turkey.
Right,
and 8 sets of cousins, you know. When's the last time Steely Dan did tour?
Well, our last show was July 4th, 1974, was it?
That's right.
And a good show it was.
July.
We were getting really good by then. And we decided to quit while we were ahead.
Where was that? July 4th, 74?
It was Santa Monica Civic Auditorium near the beach there. You know, they have a nice
74 was Pressologic?
Do you
think of it that way?
Yeah,
I think
it was during.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the promos as you drive into town from the airport, you know.
Yeah. If I may sketch just a silly parallel between Steely Dan and myself, in that I think we enjoy what we do on our own terms. I think I get a kick out of your career just watching that part. You really are doing it basically in your own terms, meaning you take the time you need to make what you think is the best you can do and avoid the things that appeal to you less. Does that make any sense?
It sure does. It makes a lot more sense than what we were doing before that, which was doing it on someone else's terms. You know? And I think anybody would do that in any situation given the chance, but for some reason in rock and roll, you're expected to go out and entertain. It's really, you feel more like an entertainer or a performer than a... No.
No, we're not really performing. You know, I think we used to throw up a lot. You know, before the show, it was messy and it was odoriferous. It's much better this way.
Well, in other words, you don't like to go on there and twirl your guitar and have a laser effect or wear makeup like Kiss.
No, we gave away the smoke bombs, and June 4th, 1974 was the last smoke bomb I saw go off.
That wasn't even that was the Doobie Brothers smoke bomb.
That's right, it was Mike McDonald's personal smoke bomb.
That band used to blow up every night. Everything would blow up. The next day, there it was, perfect. It was great. I never understood. You know?
Never broke your instruments like Townsend and Entwistle?
No, I almost broke my knee once trying to break my instrument. Pure frustration. One time I did kick over an amplifier because of unsatisfactory failure to modulate amplitude on the part of the guitar player next to me. A big Marshall amp, and it was like so loud that I had to stop it.
You had to stop it. Yeah.
And he kept playing, you know, and I was like, nothing there. And he looked around.
Yeah, you were testy that night.
Yeah, well, it was a tough night. It was in Houston, you know. And so what did he do? He kicked my amplifier over. We were both there, you know.
Houston's a perfect place for that.
Yeah.
I guess that performing and recording are just 2 distinct and separate things, aren't they?
Unless you record while you're performing or
perform while you're recording.
You've not done it.
We have done that.
You have done some. Which one was live?
Well, none of them actually. Yeah. But the single that's being released from this album will have...
Gaucho is the new album.
Yes, right. And the single will be
Hey 19.
Hey 19, and on the flip side of that will be a live recording of Bodhisattva from
June 3rd, 1974.
Right. Exactly.
Which was our penultimate performance.
That's right.
July 4th was the last performance.
July 5th was the last performance. We had July 4th off.
Is that true?
Yeah.
How on earth did you have hit records with abstract lyrics and
technical terms?
excellent relationships with disc jockeys, right? Took them out.
Yes.
And took them to Broadway shows and wined and dined them.
Personally, we did that.
We did.
That is the biggest mystery of all.
True. We just took Cal Rudman to see Annie. The wonderful
Cal Rudman, for those of you listening, he's a kind of, he has a sheet, as they say. It comes out of southern Jersey. Paul Simon, in his new movie, One Trick Pony, kind of satirizes Cal Rudman. Supposedly he's powerful in the record business. And my first comedy album, Child of the 50s, in 1973, it took me there, and you get, it's good. The kid's got style. You know, I mean, one of those things.
Well, that's me.
Yeah, right.
That's all right. We can eliminate. Don't worry about it.
And that was
this is radio, man. This isn't the Merv Griffin show. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, that was a good scene in that movie, I thought, where he has to play in front of a record executive.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps answering the phone during the song. We used to have experiences like that.
Did something occur to you when you're taking a shower? You see, I don't... And wait a minute. I have to delve... It's hilarious to analyze lyrics and stuff, but I don't even know if I have it here, but there was some wonderful interviewer who said, well, obviously I can figure out such and such in their lyrics as a parable for Puerto Rican immigrants. But I'm still trying to figure out what a monkey girl does all night in Denver, or one of those. This guy won't give up, will he?
They take it very...
That guy wouldn't give up, no.
They take it very seriously, you know. It's like a major breakthrough if they can interpret a particular line, you know.
Incidentally, in fact, I don't want to patronize them, but I believe it was from the curriculum of one of America's finest music schools. I'll even mention it. I think it's Berkeley. Is that in Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you aware, gentlemen, that you are the subject of a songwriting class in that institution?
No.
No, this is news to us.
Well, you are. And I'm calling the principal, Mr. Dugan, right now. See if you guys could pass your own test.
There was a piano teacher there who was very good, a jazz pianist, and I remember I had a course with him, and he had to leave. He got a good gig, and he was supposed to have a series of lessons he was supposed to give that over a period of 3 or 4 months, but at the last moment he decided the gig was more important, and so in one day he gave a 3-month lesson, you know, and he was sitting there saying, now the function of the half diminished chord, he went through all of musical history in 3 hours. And
a lot of this is purely subjective. For example, I actually thought this was kind of funny, and again, I don't want to patronize, but it's Steely Dan's The Royal Scam provides an excellent example of the rhyme's contribution to exposing the real form of a song. This is part of the curriculum.